Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Print and Pretzels. We're joining us live here. Got some cool announcements for tonight. We're very excited. One True Love, hello, how's it going? Thanks for joining us on Print and Pretzels. We got some cool announcements this week. This week is going to be kind of more of an informal week because the X2D just dropped. And I kind of want to get everybody's take. Hi, Dante. Everybody's take on what they think of the machine versus how it fits our workflow and vice versa. Because I was hoping for more. Patrick, how's it going? David, hey, R2K No Heroes, hello. So this week we're going to be getting into the X2D. It dropped. I dropped the video on it. It was kind of like a hybrid video. I was gonna release it right before the X2D dropped. I don't have one. I'm not interested in really getting one because it doesn't fit my workflow. But I wanted to wait until it actually dropped to make sure I had all my T's and I's and all that stuff taken care of. But I was expecting more from that printer. So we'll get into that tonight. And then we're also going to start getting into some of the art fair stuff, content that we're going to be getting into for this second middle portion of the year, because we're starting to get into art fair season. It's a little over a month away, so I'll start talking to you guys about what's going on, what we're printing, what filament we're printing it in, so that if you're doing that type of thing as well, you'll get some of that. And then we'll touch on a little bit of like this solar project that I'm thinking about doing, exploring, that I'm doing some content on behind the scenes, and I'll touch on a few other things. I got some big announcements in the studio, and it's thanks to you all for tuning in and watching every week, watching the videos that I put out. So I really appreciate you all for all that and all the positive comments and just hanging out and chilling with us here on Print and Pretzels. David, it's a pass for me, and the fact that you can get less than 256 prints, but yeah, that's a hard no for me too. It's already small enough build play size, and now it's smaller. No thanks. And there's the two other machines that are coming. One's out, and the other one's coming out that I think are a better fit for most people. There is, if you print in single color but you need supports, the X2D is going to be there for you. I almost said H2D because that's really the one I would be looking at buying versus the X2D, because I just feel like you get more. But if I could buy one True Love, if I could buy a printer today, which one would you recommend? A Core XY can print multicolor and will print engineering material such as a PA12. Right now, available today? That's a hard question, because I know I actually can confirm, and you can see it out there in the wild, the Creator 5 is out. So the Creator 5 Pro is not too far behind it, and that's going to be able to do that because it's going to be able to have that heated chamber. It's going to have, like, actually, it's got a heater in the chamber, it can control that. The only kind of drawback I see on that machine is it's manual filament loading, but it's right there on the side, so hopefully it won't be too much of a pain. I'll have that machine here not too long, so that's leading up to our announcements, but that would be the one I would be looking at getting versus the X2D, just because you don't have to deal with that purge problem still. If you do want to print in multicolor, it gives you more options. So, and it's about the same price. The 85X is a good starter. Another Flashforge is a good starter. If you're just printing single color and you would need that heated chamber, the Elegoo, I don't know if the Elegoo Centauri Carbon 2 has a heated chamber or not. I know it's enclosed, so that'll help. But you can also get the Snapmaker U1 to put the Panda Breath in it. I have that. I just haven't done it yet. I'm waiting for my pop cap to get here to do that. Which you'll also unlock that for you because you'll be able to print with a heated chamber. So there's options. I don't really print with engineering materials, so I don't really have that expertise. I can say abrasives I print with, because I will be printing with abrasives and PLA a lot more here coming up soon, because again, I don't want to get into my announcement just yet. But I'm going to be exploring some new things on the U1. So, hi Hawks, CT2 doesn't have a heated chamber. Okay, thanks, thank you, appreciate that. I was thinking about getting a CC2 when it came out, but I'm like, there's so much more coming out this year, and that feels like that's a generation behind. It's a single color, 4 colors on the side, and it purges still. So what we're really looking here in the studio is solving that purge problem, and just because it saves so much money and time. Like, I've saved so much just in the three slash almost 4 months that I've had the U1. I have saved a ton of filament. It's actually causing me another problem. I'm not burning through so much filament, so I have colors stacking up now. So that's another problem for another video, though. I've seen a reviewer print nylon and carbon fiber PVA CF on the X2D just fine. That's good. I'm not for or against the X2D because you're going to get that Bambu reliability, but I did see somewhere, I don't remember where it was, I think it was on the Bambu website, that they recommend really using that Bowden extruder for support materials. So I definitely wouldn't recommend that printer for multicolor. I personally feel, again, this is my personal feeling, that falls way short, especially when you have if you're going to get the AMS combo with it, that puts it at the $899. It's 4 colors and it purges, versus the Snapmaker U1 has been the most reliable printer in my studio since I've received it, and it just works. I've done 2 maintenance periods on it, and as long as you keep up on the maintenance, for me, it's no problem. And I did a video on that too. And since that video, I do want to state that there is additional guidance on what you can put on the rails for lubrication. So just look at the Snapmaker guidance on that. One True Love, what's the Panda Breath? So let me show you. Panda Breath is over here. Hold on, I'm off camera, I know. There it is. It's underneath all this stuff. I got a stack of things I need to get to here. So the Panda Breath is this. It's a little heater box, heater module that you can put in, and it's also a filter that you can put in any of your machines. Well, I shouldn't say any. I know you can put it in the P1S. I know you can put it in the Snapmaker U1. And that's about all I can. If you use our affiliate link for the build plate down in the comments, it'll get you to the site. And then if you do choose to purchase it, that'll get us credit for that. But don't feel obligated to do that. Let me catch up with some of these questions real quick before I get into the announcements. Same, I feel like the X2D would have been better if it came out a year ago. PopCap is coming. I don't know what the story is behind that. I reached out to my rep, and they say there's like a backup at the warehouse, the US-based warehouse. So just waiting for that. Did you see the LugoWare Flex 4? No, I did not. So let me get into some of the announcements tonight for the channel. And before I get into that, I want to say a thank you to our audience. Without you guys, these things don't happen. Without you guys watching the videos, clicking those affiliate links and using those, a small channel like us doesn't get seen by these bigger companies. So with that, kudos to you all. Thank you. The support has been amazing. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. So with those announcements, or with those kudos to you all, the announcements that I have. First, we have been selected to be a first look at the Creator 5 Pro when it comes out. The rep reached out to me, and I did say yes. So when we get that, I'll have it here on the counter, and we'll be able to go through that together on a live stream. I will probably do the unboxing just so I can have the filmed content beforehand, but I'll go over like the first prints and stuff with you on the live stream. Second, Snapmaker has also been in contact with me, and I'll catch up in the comments in a second, guys. I've also been in contact with Snapmaker, and first I need to ask a question. Does anyone, if you do have an answer for this, please shoot me a message over on Discord. You can search the Glorious Geeks HQ on Discord if you want to join that. Or you can shoot me an email at the contact listed in this description. But I need a good place to start with laser engraving, and I need a good place to start with CNC. And let me tell you why. So I want to say about a week ago, I reached out to Snapmaker and said, hey, I really like your machine, and I like to do X, Y, and Z. I like to show the workflow of what it's like for the Snapmaker U1 if you have multiple machines. What does that look like? And they're sending me another U1. So thank you to you all for using those affiliate links, viewing the U1 content. That's what made that happen. So thank you. So we'll be able to cover multiple aspects of the U1 on what the workflow looks like. That's also where I'm going to start exploring some abrasive material like Glow PLA, which tears up my AMS units. So I'm going to be printing with that and exploring that and what it's like to use some of those types of abrasive materials and how you got to kind of adapt your machine on that to start with that kind of content. Part B on this announcement for this live stream. And again, thank you, audience. Thank you. And thank you, chat family. Thank you, everyone. In that same email, I also said I wanted to explore laser engraving and CNC. And they are sending me the Snapmaker Artisan. And that's a big machine. So I gotta learn, and we'll probably explore that some on Print and Pretzels here, if you guys don't mind. So because that's a whole new world for me. So it's very exciting to see. So thank you all. You're gonna start seeing some of these things show up in the studio. And shout out to Snapmaker and Flashforge for sending these units. I appreciate the kind gestures. No sponsorships or anything has happened. They like what we're doing on the channel and spreading the goodwill. David, if you have too many printers to test, you can send them my way. I haven't got that point yet, but maybe someday. We're still a little channel yet. Yeah, we have the Artisan at work, and it's a beast. Oh yo, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna catch up with some of these. Hey, PG, thanks for joining us as a first member. Oh, that's another announcement. We are going to start doing members-only live streams starting next month. The first Sunday of every month, I'm going to host a dedicated members live stream where we're going to hang out. That might be, maybe that's where I do the Artisan, because I might need some of that expertise on what that looks like. So if you do have the Artisan, let's explore that together. I've looked at some of the unboxings, and it's pretty intense because it's got a lot of pieces. So that might be an ongoing thing there. I don't know. But the members only live streams is going to be for those of you that want to seek an additional way to support the channel and get closer to the core of the channel and what we're doing. I'll also be exploring what I'm going to be filming. I'll show you some of the behind the scenes things like, hey, this is what my content tracker looks like. Full disclosure, right now I'm not under any NDAs, but if I am ever under an NDA, I won't be able to show that on there. So you'll get as much as I am able to present to the community. But Print and Pretzels live stream, and those are staying on Wednesday nights. I enjoy these so very much. You guys are so much fun to hang out with. We learn together, we grow together, and that's what this channel is really about. So if you're going to become a member, make sure you get that membership in before the first Sunday of May, because that's what we're going to do. And I'll probably talk some more in-depth stuff about art fairs if you have questions for that too. That'll be like a really core in-depth hobby hangout for the channel. So there's that. Catch up with some of these comments, and then we'll start talking about what we think about the Bambu Lab X2D versus these other two machines that are, one's on the market and the other one's getting pretty much is on the market. We've seen it already. Let's see here. The Cheedy Multicolor could print higher temp filament. Okay. I don't have a Cheedy machine, so I can't speak on that. I've heard good things about them though, especially for multicolor. They just don't. I don't think they have a tool changer just yet. WW John 74. I noticed that your P1s are printing multicolor, but the U1 is idle. The U1 actually, it's funny you say that. Before the live stream, I was loading up print, so let me click print. I had to load up all this filament. Oh. I am starting this rather large PETG articulated snake by Cinderwing. I'll get that going. Thank you. And as far as the P1S is printing multicolor, right now I'm looking at the best way to phase those machines down to single color, because while I love multicolor and it is one of our biggest profit makers, if I can find a machine that can replace these and those can become my single color printers, I can start scaling some other machines out of my studio. And then once I make enough profit, or for these art fairs, once I can afford an H2C, I can recycle my AMS units onto the H2C. So it's more about the cost effectiveness of that entire workflow. And right now I don't have the capabilities to get that H2C yet. I would love to get one, because I can use my AMS units and it's up to 7 colors purgeless printing. And most of my colors are 4. That's why I was kind of hoping the X2D was going to be that X2C when it came out, because that would have been fun to do, but we didn't get that. R2K New Heroes, I did see Full Spectrum is on Bambu Lab. Not sure how that works with a single color, single nozzle printer yet, but I'm sure there's a lot of purge waste with that. If there's not, please let me know in the comments. Let's see here. I would suggest learning to print the basic materials to learn the fundamentals. The high temp filaments have many more variables that can cause prints to fail. Oh, that's another thing on the channel that I'm working on. I got like 6, 7 irons in the fire right now. I'm looking at doing some beginner-friendly content where it starts at, okay, I'm looking at buying my first printer. What should I be looking for? Here's what I wished I knew when I first started multicolor printing or multi-material printing. Bed slinger versus Core XY. One of them is going to need more space than the other. Advice like that. And what should I look at before I buy my first printer? What material? What are materials? What is filmic? Because when you join this hobby, you're like, there's a lot to it. It's kind of like where I'm at right now with laser engraving. I know very little, if to anything, about laser engraving, but I'm going to learn. So that's where I would like to pass on the knowledge for people that are joining the hobby, because it's becoming more affordable and more accessible to many, many more people. So let's talk about the X2D. That machine, I've been talking about the speculation of it since the beginning of the year, and maybe even a little bit before that. I was hoping, and I think a lot of us were, that it was going to be really the X2C when it came out. It was going to be, hey, or at least without that Bowden extruder, and can do 2 colors, 2 materials, and not like single color material with support material on it. What this tells me, and I'm sure I'll get lit up in the chat for this or in the replay comments, this tells me that Bambu wasn't ready for the Snapmaker U1 to hit the market when it did. They probably had this machine in the works in the R&D development last year in June, July, August, and they were refining it. They were saying, how can we put the H2D into the X frame? And then the Snapmaker made their announcement, then Snapmaker made their announcement of the U1, and it blew up on Kickstarter, and Bambu had to have a response. And the X2D at the time really wouldn't have been the response. So what they had to do is, and again, this is speculation and opinion on my part, they had to respond with the H2C. They were going to drop the H2S, and they did, but as part of that announcement, they dropped, hey, we know this is probably going to take away from some of our H2S sales, but we're also going to be releasing the H2C, and here's a preview of that. It forced Bambu's hand, but even the H2C doesn't answer purgeless printing at the $1,000 price point, at least for 4 colors. I still can't afford an H2C. I love to do that. I would love to test it out. I think it's very capable for many different applications. But it wasn't the answer for this price point. It wasn't the answer for, hey, I need to print multi-material, but I don't want to buy a machine that's almost $3,000. That's hard because you're gonna have to get several AMS units with it. You got to get extra nozzles, so it gets to be expensive. The Snapmaker U1 came out. It lit the 3D printing world on fire, and I'm very impressed with the machine. It just works. I've had a couple of errors, but they were my own. It was either one, I didn't realize that the fan was blowing on my PETG, and that was the community that helped me out there, so I appreciate you all for that. Or some cat hair got on one of the pogo pins and it didn't connect right away. Oops, cleaned it off, clicked resume, away I went. I haven't really had any issues. Maybe I will when the second one gets here, I don't know. But that'll be more not R&D, but more testing that I can do to say, hey, I see that some people out there are having problems with their U1s. Is it a machine problem or did I get lucky? I wasn't a reviewer. I was a Kickstarter backer, so I got this machine through Kickstarter at the lowest possible point you could, which is nice. But it just works for my workflow right now. I'm not sure you can do engineering materials on it without the pop cap or the pen of breath. You're going to need those two things if you do engineering materials and you want to follow Snapmaker's workflow. Or not workflow, but guidance on how to do that. So that's how I feel about the X2D versus the Snapmaker U1. If you're going to get it for multicolor printing, I feel like you're making a mistake. If you get the X2D for multicolor printing, or even multi-material printing like PLA, PETG, TPU, I think this is more of a machine for you. They cost the same. Yes, I know $699 if you just get the machine, but many of us would probably go for the AMS unit with it because it's 4 colors. 4 colors, 4 colors, save money with Purge, and you can do multi-material. And then we have the Creator 5 Pro that's coming out, which we'll be getting here in the studio. That has an active chamber heater. It has active cooling. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have nice filament loading. You have to load it manually on the side, but it is nice that those tool heads will be on the side and is accessible. I've seen some first look footage and it looks really easy to use. And I'll have more information on that as that gets in the studio. So there's options out there. As far as reliability on Bambu goes, they've earned that name. It will work. It's not been out in the market very long, so we don't have, hey, I've got this many problems with my X2D. We don't have knowledge on how well does that Bowden extruder work for 10,000 filament swaps. Time will tell, but Bambu has earned their credibility, street credibility for reliability for their machines. I will give them that. I will also say, personal experience, this is not because I'm affiliated with Snapmaker. I mean, I am affiliated, but I'm not affiliated. I get an affiliate link, that's about it. The Snapmaker U1 has been just as reliable as my P1S machines. I know it's not really equivalent, but it's the best I have right now. As far as it comes to printing, I haven't ever had to replace any nozzles or tool heads on my machine. I've had to replace several nozzles because the purge chute clogged in the back of my machine, and you won't have that problem on the Snapmaker U1. So you're still going to get that problem on the X2D. It still purges. You could still possibly have a purge chute back up and it could break your nozzle. Just realism, or realistic. So I'm going to catch up on some of these comments. If I missed any comments, I apologize. There's a lot. It's a good thing, good thing. The X2D was R2K here. The X2D was placed strategically price-wise. I think a tool changer is going to be in between X series and H series. I believe so. I fully suspect that Bambu will do a tool changer, whether it's their own version or it's a twist on them. I think they're going to do one, or they're going to make the X2C happen, or something of the like in a different frame. I think they have to. I think that's the answer that they're going to have to go at. because I think they're going to start losing market share as these printers come out, and if the reliability question is answered, then we just can't say, okay, this machine's going to work for Bambu anymore when these other machines work too. I'm pretty sure I'm over 50,000 swaps on my machine now, and I haven't had any issues yet. I'm betting there's going to be another printer like the X2C in August. There's a big price gap still. I believe you're right, Luis. I think that's going to happen for sure. The X2C is definitely something like that's coming. There is a giant hole between $900 and I think the next one's $1,700, right around there. So there is a giant hole, and Bambu doesn't leave holes unfilled for long. They like their price ladder. PGE, I want the U2, 300 by 300 and 6 tool heads. PGE, I think if they do the U2, it's going to be bigger than that. So their biggest printer, which is the Artisan, is 400 by 400. Now it's not a speedy machine at all, but it's called an Artisan for a reason, and we're going to get that here on the channel. I gotta figure out where to put it because this is a big machine. But we're getting that here on the channel. We'll be able to explore that. But back to the U2. I think I don't know. I don't have any contacts in there, but it would make sense that once they get the U1 refined and they're comfortable with how successful it has been, I don't think they stop there. I don't think that they leave money on the table if they want a bigger machine with more tool heads. I think with full spectrum printing, I think the number of tool heads might be ideal at 5, or what if we do an octopus like the Flashforge is doing and move those tool heads to the side and do 8 tool heads on each side? That would be pretty cool. My hope is that in between the U1 and the U2, or whatever the next machine Snapmaker decides to put out, they do some sort of AMS unit for an ecosystem, for filament drying, something similar like that. I think that would be a great bridge between the two machines. As someone that modifies his printers, I look for ones that do the important parts well and add on what I want. David, I fully agree. And from what I can see, Snapmaker is fully on board with modifications of the printers. They're fully open sourced. That's how we got full spectrum printing. It's how we got the Sidecar project. Shout out to you, Sidecar project. I really hope that the Sidecar project comes to fruition and Snapmaker is like, hey, this is a really good idea. Let's do it. I want to say I just saw Rapid TZT footage. I can't confirm this because it was just like a glimpse on YouTube I saw, that we saw a Sidecar project there at the Snapmaker booth. CD guy, the X2D would be great for classroom environments needing to do lots of ABS, ASA, and nothing too crazy while having designated support material. Yeah, I fully agree that there are specific use cases for the X2D. I fully can support that. Support material. I can fully back that. There is going to be cases where it makes sense. But overall, I think the better machine at this moment for that price point is going to be the U1. For most people, yes, you don't have the assembly of the dual heads with the Snapmaker U1, and I saw a brief assembly of the Creator 5. That was crazy simple. I can't wait to get that here in the studio and show you all. It's it's two pieces. It looks like you put together. The tool heads are already assembled for you, which blows my mind. But absolutely, there is going to be a use case for every printer. I believe that's really what my last video was more about. Is, hey, each printer is going to fit a specific workflow. One printer might fit multiple workflows. One printer might only fit one workflow. But it's important when you buy these printers, buy something that you think is going to fit your workflow. That's why I'm looking at phasing these guys down to single color printers, and maybe using only one AMS on there so that I can just continuously run one filament and not have to worry about changing it out until 4 rolls run out. And then replacing them with tool changers, because it just makes sense. It saves me in the studio money. Filament, when I'm not purging 100 grams of filament or whatever it is. I know you can do filament color calibrations and stuff like that. That takes time, and that's a whole other topic. But when you're not purging and just throwing filament waste in the garbage, it's helping the ecosystem, it's saving money, and you can use it for more prints, which is additional success. WW John 74. Bambu needs 2 things changed. Update the EMS with a dual output, not 4, and allow the next filament to be ready for the next color swap. Second is fix the print size. I agree. The AMS systems are going to need to be changed. Even if it's not at the AMS unit itself, because that would require, it would make me nervous on if they're going to phase out all the other older units, which would make me sad because then I can't use the tons of AMS units I have. But it would make sense if they did that because it's a new generation of printers. Okay, let's do a new generation of AMS units that makes it more efficient for the swapping. I can understand that, which would make the H2C make even more sense to have, because that would be like the last main printer of these AMS generations. So I think that would boost sales for that printer, and then you get a whole new generation of printing on a new AMS system. But I have no contacts at Bambu, but they make great printers. I've used my P1Ss for a very long time. One of them has been with me since 2000. It was like the early cases of when it came out. I think it was like 6 months after it came out, I finally got one, and I was like, okay, this changes everything. And then here we are again. Snapmaker U1 came out, and whoa, this changes everything again. So I fully agree that they need to change some things, which I think they will. I fully think they will. CD Guy, I'm also very excited for the AMS track switch that they released alongside the X2D. I haven't seen that. I got a brief glimpse of that track switch. I think that might be part of their attempt at an answer for those long filament swap times, but I haven't looked into that too much. I don't know too much about that yet, but I will. Iceman7438, welcome to the live stream. Snapmaker U1 is my favorite printer, and it was the early bird one. I know, Iceman, I'm right there with you. It is my favorite printer, and I'm so glad I backed it, and I will die on this hill. I wish I would have done the double early bird backer. I was contemplating it at the time. That's the risk with Kickstarter though, because this printer could have came out and it could have been a lemon, but it didn't, and here we are. But I could have gotten 2 or received 2 at the $600 price or whatever it was. That would be crazy. Hi, Riley. The Bowden extruder is a lot more capable than Bambu lets on. I know they keep it conservative expectations. My personal experience with Bowden extruders is they jam easier. I don't know if they've improved the reliability of it. I would imagine they did as much as they could. But I still have nightmares about on my Neptune Tube and Neptune Tube S, the clicking of a Bowden extruder jam, because it couldn't get enough pressure to keep the filament going. But they make machines that work, and I think that's why they erred on the side of caution when they did that disclaimer. Hey, really, it's only designed for support material, but you can print with multicolor. I think they're erring on the side of caution until there's more development with it. My son's school just got a Prusa. Prusa. I'm jealous. Hey, that's awesome. That's a giant printer. PGE, I want at least 300. PGE, you might want to look at, I don't know when it's going to come out. I wish we had more information on it. I did it back in my $1,000 mistake video. You can check that out. Check out the Atom Form Palette 300. It seems like there's something holding the printer up, but it looks very promising. I think it's where I wish Bambu was at right now, with not so much the development, but the idea behind the machine. In their AMS unit, it has got 6 rolls. So check that one out. And yes, David, I would agree. 300 plus is worth it if you do cosplay. I think you can get full-size helmets on that. These are the two B unit. These are the two printers I've been looking at the last couple days. Perfect timing. These will be my first 3D printer. That's an important comment. I want to acknowledge that. Welcome to 3D printing, and welcome to Printin' Pretzels. This is where we all gather, talk about our 3D printers. For the first half, I usually present some sort of idea or something that I'm researching, and but this week, this is an important topic about these printers that are coming out, and that's the first half of this live stream. And then the second half, we open it up to any questions, or you can feel free to drop in the chat if you do have a question, and our chat family can help discover the answer for that. But that's what we're here for. We're here to help guide and encourage the community. And if you haven't joined our Discord, please feel free to join our Discord. It's the Glorious Geeks HQ. And we're actively building that so that even if it's offline, we can help with answers. So even if it's not me, the community is super, super helpful, and I'm very grateful for our community. And these 3 machines, they're gonna fit different workflows. I can't wait to get ours on here. I'm probably gonna have the Snapmaker U1 and the Creator 5 Pro plopped right here on the desk, assuming that they both fit and you can still see me. So we'll have both of those machines side to side. And then when we get to the new studio, wherever that winds up being, because we are growing and we need more space, both family-wise and business-wise, great problems to have. You'll get to see and discover that with us. I'm super excited about that. So again, thank you all, audience, chat family, replay family. Thank you all for being part of this growth journey. And if you're just now joining us, thank you for being part of the Glorious Geeks. Even if you're just tuning in tonight, thanks for dropping in. Malachi, I have 6 days to return my P2S to Best Buy. Should I return it for the X2D? I can't decide. I can't really direct you on whether to return it or not. I would just state, look at what you print most. Do you print single color and wish you had something that was like another nozzle that could do supports with it? Then I would look at getting the X2D. But if you have the P2S and it's working great for you and you don't feel like it's an upgrade is needed, because you're going to lose a little bit of bed size when you use that second nozzle on the X2, I almost said X2C, X2D. I don't remember exactly how much it is, but it's on the, I think it's the left side. You're going to lose a little bit of bed space, and it's already a small printer. So, but if you need supports, it's going to save your material for your supports. Apparently, all the cats want to join the live stream tonight. So just look at your workflow and what you print most, and make that determination based on that. Is what I would say. Hawks, number 3. All right. At David, yeah, my size is 13 feet. Leave me out in the cold for shoes on my U1 270, 270. I haven't printed a shoe yet. I want to, though. I want to. Shadow, I got a P2S 3 weeks ago. I'm mad considering just selling it and getting a U1. That's... I gotta be careful here. That's rough, and I feel that pain. I would be very upset if I got the P2S and 3 weeks later the X2D came out and I'm like, hey, it's the same price I just paid. That would be very upsetting to me as a consumer. So I understand that fully. Contact Bambu, see what they say is what I would recommend. If that's who you got it through. If you got it through another merchant, contact them and see what they can do. I've seen Micro Center works with people. I've seen that Best Buy, I think, work with people because they want to ensure their consumer happiness. Shadow obsolete in 6 months is um I think when people say that, I think they mean obsolete in 6 months from release date, which would be about right with Bambu because they release something new about every 6 months. We saw it all last year, and this time actually it was a little earlier last year. We had saw the H2D, and I put that in my most recent video. Don't be surprised if something new comes out in 6 months from Bambu for the X series. Could it be the X2C? I don't know. Or is it going to be something in the A series that would be a tool changer? I don't know. But that's their release time frame, about between 6 and 8 months. Jude, hey, cat. Yep, we got 4 cats in the studio. They like to hang out with us. They are furry management team. They supervise everything. Archukino Heroes. I'm just saying from the review, the guy I watched was able to get flawless prints using it for multicolor and even PETG. He didn't attempt TPU though. I watched Fohammer and his review was great. He got really great multicolor prints. I just don't know the long-term reliability of the Bowden extruder. I don't know. I don't think anybody does, other than maybe Bambu themselves, who made the machine. I'm not saying it can't print multicolor. What I'm saying is it doesn't solve that purge problem for multicolor. It doesn't. It has a purge chute. You can do 2 colors without purge, I would imagine, but you lose bed size. The multicolor aspect came on board with purgeless, wasteless printing with the U1. That was the machine that started it, and everybody else is catching up. Now the Creator 5 Pro is out. They're on board with it. They're like, this makes sense. Let's see how many other companies come afterwards with these tool changers, and they're like, this is where the industry is shifting. I'll have multiple U1s here shortly to be able to tell you, this is my pain point when I have multiple U1s. What is the struggle I have? And I'll probably have the same for Flashforge. This is my struggle with Flashforge. This is what I don't like. This is what I do like. This is what I print with it. I won't print. Well, I can't say I won't, but most likely 90% or more of my printing will be with PLA or PETG and some TPU. I like TPU for the flexibility and the squishiness for like the articulated toys that I sell to these parents who use them as rewards programs for their kids and schools and all these other things. That brings me joy to do that for the community, and that's what is important to me. Make sure I'm bringing joy to our community. So just make sure if you do buy a printer that you find the one that fits your workflow. And something else, if you wait for a printer, you'll always be waiting because there might be something at least in the next year. There's always going to be something that's coming out, and you're gonna be like, whoa, buckle your seatbelts for 2026 and possibly 2027 because the tool changers are among us. PGE, I just got my deposit refunded from Adam Form Palette 300. Follow Discord, not looking good. I'll have to check into the Discord. I haven't logged into their Discord, or not logged in, but checked on their Discord in I think a couple days. I hope that is not the case. I am looking forward to their UV printer. That one looks pretty cool. Malachi. Work with the P2S. David, I have 2 U1s running constantly for 4 weeks, mostly only user error so far. I'm the same way, David. It's been running in our studio nonstop unless I have forgotten to program it like I did at the beginning of the live stream. But it has just been my own errors. It has been something as simple as when I'm printing with PETG, do I have proper bed adhesion? Okay. I didn't really care for the gold plate that it came with. So I got the BQ build plate. And if you like the BQ build plate, that's an affiliate link is in our description. We do get a small portion. It doesn't cost you anything. But it really helps solve bed adhesion. It didn't fully solve it for PETG with me though. And here's why. And the community here helped me figure this out. The fan on the right side, when you're printing, can blow too hard on your models. and it can cause lifting with PETG. PLA doesn't really care too much, but PETG, I was having lifting problems with it, and that's what it was. And since then, no problems, other than cat hair being on the connectors. So that's what's been the user errors for me. Or sometimes, I think it was like once or twice since I've owned it, the toolhead has failed to connect, and I just clicked resume and it picked it up and just fine. Oh, one other user error I did have is a filament tangle. I don't know if it was me when I put the filament in there, if I didn't pull it off the spool right, but I did have a filament tangle, and I didn't have air printing sensitivity set on my machine. So it cost me some filament. My own user error. If I had that set on the machine, it would have caught it, and it would have saved me the print and the filament. So again, just user errors. I'm hoping the same thing for the Flashforge Creator 5. I mean, I have an X2D in my garage, but I don't use it I don't do much multicolor printing. And that's just part of different people's workflows. It's just, what do I print with my machine? What makes sense for me? If I printed tons of engineering parts and I just needed like water soluble supports, oh, the X2D, or X2D. I get it confused with the H2D. All the acronyms are so close, which would also make sense. It would make sense. You could put it in water to get the supports off, and you're done. It's just what fits your own workflow. Here at the studio, I don't do that type of printing. Some people have said I print garbage. That's fine. That's their opinion. They're entitled to that. It's just, I choose to bring people joy, especially kids, joy with 3D printing. So I've even gone to nursing homes and demonstrated 3D printing here in our local community. It's just, I like to show the power of technology, and that's the easiest way for me to do it and bring joy to folks in the community. I do print functional pieces too, but it's usually something that helps people around the house. Or the Aldani cans that are out there that are, some people don't like to touch their can because it's cold, which is fine. So we print that thing and they drink it. It's a beautiful thing. Functional prints are also very important. B Unit, welcome to the live stream. Catching up on some of these comments just for a minute. I got to scroll down a little ways. Acid Fly Studios, where did you get those benches behind you? IKEA. I love them so much. I'm still trying to get an affiliate contact with them because I use them so much. I don't have the other camera hooked up right now because I'm actually getting ready to tear down that side of the studio because we are going to be moving to a bigger setup at some point in the next probably 60 days. But IKEA, the brackets you see up here, those are 3D printed with PETG. And these are the B-Roar posts, the shelf posts. These are the B-Roar bigger posts. You'll see them on IKEA. And those are the 24-inch deep shelves. And how I programmed my P1Ss to purge below them is I cut a slot out with where the purge sheet dumps out, and it just goes through the board. It's still supported by the beam, and into these bins that are below. It just makes it simple, and I think the only time I get a purge chute clog is when it actually sticks to the purge chute. I hope that answers your question. A Bambu U1 would not eliminate AMS units. In fact, they could set it up where each head has an AMS hub to attach an AMS unit. I fully hope that Bambu comes out with a tool changer and incorporates the AMS units with it. Because we see that they just put in full spectrum printing. And I said in one of our earlier videos, I don't remember exactly which one it is, when I first came across full spectrum printing, if you could do CMYK printing with an AMS, 4 AMS units, one attached to each tool head, you could have 4 of each color on one tool head, and you could print for a very long time without having to change the filament out. So that's what makes sense to me. Will it catch traction in the bigger makerspace? I don't know. That's just what my hope is. At the very least, I would like to have some sort of enclosed very efficient filament driving mechanism that can heat and dry filament during that. Now, I am also going to bring something to your guys' attention this week. I was going to talk about this more in depth, but I don't have enough information on it yet. But if you have the same filament problem that I have, which is I have a lot of filament that just sits out and collects moisture, Sunlu has brought to Rapid TCT a large format, 10 rolls, filament dryer. I have a hard time pronouncing the other company's name. I think it's Inslogic, INS Logic. They partnered together and they made this large format filament dryer. It's not available for pre-order yet. I'm keeping track of the project. I do have a rep at Sunlu. I just can't disclose too much right now, but it's at Rapid TCT. Check out Sunlu's posts on their Facebook. They posted some photos of it. You can see it, and it's really cool. So pay attention to that. As soon as that's available to pre-order, I'm gonna get one, and I'll get the affiliate links out if you guys are interested in that as well. Let me catch up on some more comments. I would love it if WW John. I would love it if the U1 had an AMS. I just talked about that. Yes, one for each nozzle, not necessarily for more colors, but ease of having colors available without taking time to load in old schools. I am the same way. SFI Studios, you're welcome, very welcome, and thank you for joining the live stream. I have a hard time pronouncing it. I'm sorry. Only $100 more compared to the P2S. Yes, only $100 more, and it gets you more upgrades. They do have different belts. You are correct. 120C bed, chamber heater, exhaust thingy on the bed. You do get more upgrades with the machine for just that $100. I fully suspect that the P2S might, and the P1S for that matter, they might get dropped a little bit lower here shortly. I don't have any confirmations of that. That's just a suspicion because I don't imagine Bambu keeping those so close together. And yes, P2S owners, yeah, I feel your pain. I don't have a P2S. To me, that machine doesn't make sense for my workflow either because it's just the same problem. It's Purge problem. But if you do have a P2S and you just recently got it, I feel your pain. I understand. That is a very painful thing to go through. I'm sure the X2C was priced as it was due to the U1. I think it is due to the U1. I think that machine would have came out a lot higher price point, the X2D, if the U1 didn't exist. I think it would have been $1,200 when it came out. And again, competition in this space is great for everyone because if this U1 wasn't here, I don't mean just this specific one, employee fight. If the U1 it wasn't here in existence right now, what would that machine have come out at? Would it have been $1,200 with the AMS unit? More than likely. Warhawk, I got a feeling like you said they just have so much research and development when they got blindsided and they couldn't offer it in the price they originally planned because of the U1. 100%. I think right now, and I am sorry P2S owners, I think you're caught in the Bambu is trying to recoup some of their R&D costs and get ahead of this thing, or at least caught up with this thing. I think fully within the next 6 months to a year, Bambu will come out with something that solves the purge waste problem at the 1K price point. If they don't, I will be shocked and probably have moved on from Bambu myself because these other machines, while they don't have the ecosystem yet, I think by that point, they will have something. Already with the U1 that I have, I wish I had 5 of them because what I can print with it, and let me show you. I have some things here that I want to show you all before I turn it over to the open part of the. Darren, hi, I'm brand new to 3D printing and ordered U1. I am excited, but also feel sometimes like so much info out there and info overload, which is good and bad. So the U1, I use Orca Slicer with it. I don't use Snapmaker Orca. I'm waiting for that to get fully fleshed out before I move over to there. And it probably already is, and I'm just lagging behind. But Orca Slicer, standard Orca Slicer works for me just fine. And I think it would be a fine machine for beginners. Just be wary, pay very close attention when you're assembling your tool head if you haven't done it already. Pay very close attention when you're assembling the tool heads and follow Snapmaker's guidance to the letter so that they line up right and that you don't have any problems. After that, after my assembly, I've done 2 maintenance periods, getting ready to do my 3rd one, and I've not had any issues that were my own fault. So definitely a good printer for a beginner. Now, if you just want to understand just 3D printing in general, a good printer would be the A1. That's going to give you the basic understanding of what an extruder is, what a single nozzle printer is all about, and it'll give you an idea of what each one of those nozzles on your U1 is doing every time it swaps. And B unit is absolutely correct. Great time to enter the hobby. We are going through like a renaissance period. We're going from wasting a bunch of filament to print multicolor and multi-material to these systems that are they just make so much sense and make things so much more efficient. But let me show you some of these prints that I'm doing. These are by Cinder Ring 3D. And I'll show you with our little print cam I have set up here. So let's stretch this out a little bit here for you guys. Make it a little bit bigger. So one of the coolest filaments, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on the camera here, that I like right now is the Twinkle filament from Sunlu. I printed this bee dragon from Sunlu, and it's just got the wings they just have that twinkle on them. You can see it on this wing over here. I'm still getting used to this camera. That twinkle filament in it is just amazing, and it doesn't print any harder than the regular PLA does. I haven't had any nozzle clogs with this Twinkle PLA. And if you do order filament from Sunlu, you can use code BeGlorious and get 3% off, and it helps out the channel on their official store website. And the gold here is silk gold from Elegoo, and then the black is black PLA 2.0 from Sunlu. But this was printed on a Snapmaker U1, and the amount of filament that I saved printing these two on the Snapmaker U1, I could print this. So that just it makes sense to me to do that. I get basically an additional whole model on this, and then I printed these. These just came off today. These are the Cherry Blossom Wyverns from Cinderwing. She's got great models, and you're probably wondering, how is that purple and pink? So it's a gradient filament by Tico Sonar. If you use our beacons link in the description, I have a list of filaments from Amazon that I use, and that's how I got the purple to do that. It was just one filament, but it makes the flowers pop more. And the blue filament is, I think it's the Glacier Blue from Bambu, and it just looks great. So that's some of the filament. If you want to see what the Twinkle filament looks like, that's what it looks like on the roll. It just, I mean, it's gorgeous filament. Oops, wrong way. It just looks so good, even just on the roll. I'm almost out of it, actually. I got to get some more because I printed a lot of things with it. But that's some of the things I'm printing for some art fairs. So that's kind of what going. So we're in the back half of printing pretzels now. If you're new to 3D printing, or you've been around in the hobby and you're just struggling with a problem, drop it in the chat, and myself, if I have the knowledge, I'll answer, as long as I see it, because it goes pretty quickly. Or one of our community members will more than likely chime in and help. That's what this is all about in part 2 of Printing Pretzels, is building this community and helping each other grow. Looks like a lot of PLA crystal mermaid tears from Flashforge. I do print with a couple of Flashforge PLAs. The Abyssal Red I print with, and there was one other one. Oh, it's not PLA, it's PETG. I print with their burnt titanium from Flashforge for that. It sounds dumb as a newbie, but it's amazing that you can just print stuff like that. No, it's not dumb at all. It's not dumb at all. When, as a newbie, you're looking at these things, you're like, how does it work? I get a lot of questions. I'm like, how does this print like this? So as it goes up each layer, it just forms that link bridge, and it just prints like that. When I first started 3D printing, I would stare at my machine, and sometimes I still do. I'm mesmerized by it, like I'm looking at a campfire. I'm like, wow. And then I got to realize that I got to do some work. I got to film some content or something, and I got to keep going. But as a hobbyist, that was a beautiful moment of enjoyment in the hobby. A3D, hey, it's been a while. Welcome to the live stream, A3D. Thanks for joining. David, I have a tricolor that changes color with temp. That would be amazing for the light blue area. Yes, David, send me that link and I'll try it out. I don't know if I have, right here, these zebras. Right now, I'm trying out a filament. Don't give away my trade secrets, you all. Don't do it. I'm trying out a filament. I wanted to do it on U1, but I don't have enough U1s to do it with. It's a UV color changing filament, and the zebra's white stripes, when you put it in the sun, will change orange. I want to do purple too. It gives me kind of Wizard of Oz vibes of horse of a different color. And I did it with a fox model too. I printed an Arctic fox by Cinderwing 3D. And I printed it white. The orange, I printed the orange section. I just put the white color change filament in it. And I'm going to release a short within the next week on what it looks like. And I'm calling them not ours, but like the collection of these little critters that are not just one artist. I'm calling them our changelings, and that's kind of like the gimmick I'm going to present them as. And kids love this stuff. They eat it up. I have glow ones that glow in the dark, and they love those too. So, but be warned, as a new hobbyist, not all PLA is just PLA. If it says glow in the dark PLA, it's not just PLA. It has additives in it that is abrasive. If it goes through a PTFE tube, it's going to wear it out like sandpaper. You'll get through a roll of it, and you'll probably have to replace some PTFE tubes inside your AMS if you're printing on a Bambu unit. What I'm going to be exploring with the U1 is how to print in that type of abrasive material without having to do that. I think that's another perk / bonus that the Snapmaker U1 can offer. You're going to need hardened nozzles as well, because it's going to bore out the inside of your nozzles. Hardened steel nozzles is how you're supposed to print with abrasive materials. And I have those upgrades. I haven't put them on my U1 yet. I backed it with the Kickstarter, and I got them like 2 weeks ago. I'll probably put those on the new machine when it gets here. So PLA Glow and PLA Wood, because it's got wood additives into it, are both abrasive type materials that are labeled PLA. Marble also is abrasive because it's got chunks of stuff in it. That's something I didn't know as a hobbyist. I'm like, why am I having this problem? I didn't know. I had to learn that the hard way, and I hope to save you all from learning that. It was rough. I'm like, why is... I still have to go through my AMS units here, my original Generation 1 AMS units, and replace those feeding sections. I've figured out a workaround for that right now. I use the BQ filament feeders, and I don't have to do that yet. Someday I will eventually get back to do it and replacing those. Barton, the cat is enjoying the heated enclosure. Yes, absolutely. They love it. It's also important why I use fume-friendly materials. If I had ABS or any of those toxic type materials, I would not be printing in the studio with it. I have it out in the garage or something. But it is like a heated bed for them, literally. David Vanderbrook 3988. I think the Creator 5 has the same AMS as the AD5X. You mean they have an AMS? I know they have a filament dryer that's supposed to come out with it. I think it's called what's it called? VDS, like Victor Delta Sierra VDS. They don't have any information much on it yet, but if you look at our first look TCT footage from TCT Asia that I had to scour for, it is in there and it looks pretty sweet. I'm hoping that they'll release that here pretty soon with the unit because that thing looks amazing. Even just to print with it, I might even get one for the U1. I don't know. It just looks nice. And the side loading is huge. I think it's going to make it easy. I think that unit is going to be easy to assemble from what I've seen. I only saw one creator out there assembling it, but it looked like the tool heads all come put together and you just slide them in place. That's mind-blowing to me. I will be getting one here shortly. I don't know how long it'll take. It's thanks to you all. It's these views on the Creator 5 Pro videos. It's these affiliate link clickages that you're putting those deposits down on. It just helps us as a small channel get noticed by these other companies. And again, I'm going to caveat that with if what you see you think fits your workflow. I don't ever want to appear like I'm trying to sell something that is not going to be for you. If it fits our workflow, I'll let you know it does. But I'll also try to do my best to say, hey, this is where I think it's lacking. Be fully aware that there's no Purge collection system for when you first put the filament in for the Creator 5 or Creator 5 Pro. It's just going to plop onto the bottom of the bed. That's a drawback, but you just sweep it out and it's the end of the day. The U1's a little sweet like that because you have that little bucket you can dump out. But I fully also suspect that the community will come out with some sort of mod that you can, I don't know, duct tape to the side of the machine and it'll collect it for you. But there are drawbacks to the machine. I don't know too many of them yet because I don't have one, but we'll get one soon. Another video did show an AMS hooked up to the Creator 5. An AMS unit or a filament dryer? Because an AMS unit, please send me that link because I would love to look at that because that would be huge. Because if it's an AMS unit, that means it makes filament loading 1,000 times easier. Even if it's just a filament dryer too, that makes solves the pain point for drying while printing. Or you can post that video in our Discord. That's fine. Post it in the community chat tab. Based David Walton. Hey, David Walton, welcome to the live stream. Based on where new machines are going, very curious what Bambu was thinking with the H2D. Was that something that needed to be solved? With the H2D and the X2D, I fully suspect that Bambu was developing something that attempted to slowly solve the purge problem. That the dual nozzle that solves the I can print supports and still print single color problem and do two colors. There are, I'd say like 20% of my workflow is two colors, but I think they were pushed because the Snapmaker came out, and it's right now they're reevaluating a lot of things in R&D because they didn't expect this. I didn't expect this. It was amazing when it came out. And it was even more amazing when I got it here in the studio. And now we see the Creator 5 Pro coming out. Flashforge adapted pretty quickly. That's pretty impressive to see. I like those little indicator lights on the tool heads too, by the way. That's pretty slick. But we're going to see how well that works. We're going to get it here in the studio. We're going to try it out. And what does it mean? I put a video out earlier this year. Like I think if you're going to spend $1,000 on a multicolor printer or multi-material printer in 2026, buckle your seatbelt because it's gonna be a slippery slope because we're gonna go fast, and we're just now, Q1 just ended. We're just now entering Q2. We still have most of Q2 to go through, Q3, and Q4 is where another important milestone is. It's the holidays. A lot of these companies want to drop the latest and greatest at the holiday season because everybody's looking at buying gifts, and that'll be another important time. That's when the H2C dropped last year. So buckle your seatbelts for 2026 and 2027. Are there doors on the Creator 5? Creator 5, no. The front and back and top are open. Creator 5 Pro, fully enclosed. It also has a heated chamber, and it can be actively cooled, which is really cool. That really helps out that engineering type stuff for the heating, and PLA, because you don't want it to get too hot in there. It can cool itself. PETG kind of the same way too. Michael, my only gripes with the U1 has been some bugs in the software, which seems to be addressing, and the side spool holders droop and rub the side of the printer. Michael, I would agree with that statement. As far as the software goes, I don't really do too much in Snapmaker Orca. I mainly send my stuff straight over from regular vanilla Orca, and I don't really have too many problems except my colors. I have to program my colors before I bring the model in, save it, and then close it out and then bring the model in. It's kind of clunky at that point, but I'm sure I haven't upgraded Orca Slicer in a while, so I could probably upgrade, and that might have been solved by now. But it's not too much of a big deal for me. Those side spool holders, I also agree. I am going to be exploring in the next few weeks. I reached out to Sunlu. They're going to send me a filament dryer that I want to try with on one of the sides and see how much of a pain point it solves. If I take the side spool holders off and put that in its place, is it better to run that? I think it's the SP4 is what I'm getting, and to see if it's easier to put that filament in there, and that would also allow you to use different size spools and not just be stuck with that thing. I think my hope is that Snapmaker will come up with some sort of AMS unit, or even some sort of, I know they have the little filament dryers that you can use with it, but I don't think they work as efficiently as some other options have. I've seen things out there like the I want to say it's the Creality Space Pi. People have used with that. There's lots of different options, and I want to explore that side of things too, because it's a pain point for me too. David, I truly think the 5 will be really nice based off the 85X. I truly think it's going to be as well. And this price point that it's at right now, it's not going to get lower. If anything, once it gets out, I think it's until the 19th that this launch price is going. It's like $6 something for the Creator 5. I think it's $7.99 for the Creator 5 Pro, which blows my mind to get it fully enclosed with an active heated chamber and actively cooled. I think it's just the machine, for what they're offering for that price point, as long as it comes out, functions as promised, is a really good deal. And is right there competitive with the U1. Charles, yes, the colors get wacky when I import into Snorka. Yeah, I fully suspect, and I'm happy it's this way. I fully suspect that Snapmaker over the next year is going to refine their stuff. They're going to get it in, they're going to get to the, my hope is they're going to get to the level of Bambu Studio and how it just works. It's beautiful, it's elegant, and they just flush that out, and then they bring out their next unit. Or, like I was saying earlier in the live stream, they're going to bring out an AMS type unit for the Snapmaker U1, and then they'll build an ecosystem around the machine, and then they'll bring out the next bigger model. I have a contact in Snapmaker, but I don't want to delve too deep into that contact. It's a new contact, and I'm very appreciative of them. And if you're just joining the channel, or if you're just joining the live stream, we made an announcement earlier And I'll recap that again for everyone. And it's just to show my appreciation for you all. It's because of the viewing of the videos. It's because of you all clicking those affiliate links. And choosing the printer that's right for you all, for your workflows, that a small channel like us is starting to get noticed by these bigger companies. Flashforge has noticed us. They're sending us the Creator 5 Pro. I am so appreciative of you all for that, and believing us here at the Glorious Geeks. And it's very humbling. And again, thank you. Next, Snapmaker is. I've also got a contact with them now. I asked them if they would be interested in us covering long-term the Snapmaker U1 as far as our workflow goes, and I would really like to know what a multiple unit workflow is and what the pain points of that is, so I can present that to you all and how to work with that. What are some things we can explore as a community? And they were on board with that. So I've got the tracking number for it. Monday it's supposed to arrive. The next U1 is coming to the studio, and it's because of you all. It's because of our viewers, our community members, and I just want to say thank you. It really means the world to me that you all make this possible. And part B to that, I get to learn something new, something I didn't think I was going to. And if you guys have any information, feel free to send it to me on Discord, the Glorious Geeks HQ, or at the email below in the description. I get to learn laser engraving, and I get to learn CNC. And that's because they're sending me the Snapmaker Artisan. It just blows my mind that I get to bring that kind of content to you all as a community. Because I fully feel that it doesn't, us as makers, it doesn't stop with 3D printing. I think there are so many applications. I've seen things out there where people have taken 3D prints, and in the middle of the 3D prints, they put some paper, and then they laser engrave off the PLA on the top and release a really cool piece of artwork. That's something we could explore. But it's because of you all and supporting us here on the channel. So thank you again. We're getting the Snapmaker Artisan in the studio, and we're growing. We're going to be getting a bigger studio. I don't know where it's going to be located at yet. As our family grows, as the business grows, it's just very humbling. And again, it's a thank you to all. And if you are interested in becoming a member, we are going to start doing members-only live streams. Printing Pretzels is not changing. We're going to be here on Wednesday nights. I truly enjoy this. It brings me joy to do this with you all. But the first Sunday of every month, I'm going to do a dedicated members-only live stream so that you all can get access to, hey, Ken, what do you have developing behind the scenes? What are you working on? I can get feedback from you all. Hey, this is something I'm looking at. I'm looking at incorporating solar into our setup. What does that look like? I don't know. I'm learning solar too at these types of things. I have our Anchor power units, which I love. I absolutely love them. We just went through a bunch of storms recently, and as of yesterday, the power went out a couple times. Didn't miss a beat with my printers. I'm very thankful because it could have been a couple $100 in filament that I could have lost easily, because some of this filament can get quite expensive if you get the fancy stuff. So that's the announcements that I recap for you all. So thank you, audience, chat members, replay family. Thank you all for those. Profile Matter 4786. What's the Panda breath like? It's something I get to explore with you all. I get to install this unit because BQ sent it over to us to review. Also, as far as the pop cap, we're getting one of those. I guess there's a holdup at the U.S. warehouse. So I reached out to my rep, and they said there's a hiccup there, and they'll get it to us. But I'm going to install this, and I'm really going to start testing out as much as I can that heated chamber. Like, what is it like? How does that pop cap, like, what does it feel to the touch? Does it feel like it's really warm? And if you have any suggestions on how I can, like, truly test that, I can't really print with engineering grade materials in the studio because I have our little furry management friends in that. But I will definitely test out as far as I possibly can with this for the heat in the unit. It's to help make the entire U1 a heated chamber. Also, I backed, as part of the Snapmaker U1 Kickstarter, the top hat for that, which also has an active filter in heater in it as well. So I'll be able to present that to you all as content whenever that gets out here. I want to say it was announced for November, so we got a ways yet, but they're developing it, and I'm excited for it because the design of it looks pretty interesting, and it looks like you could possibly have both the Panda Breath and their heater in there, and maybe it makes it more efficient, maybe it doesn't. David Walton 6308. Do you still test that Wonder Maker I got? I'm struggling with the Wonder Maker right now because I can't figure out why, for the life of me, it can't print multicolored. I get alignment issues. I get it's a struggle with me right now. I love the fact that it's a bigger format printer. It's that 300 by 300 size, but I can't seem to get. I don't know if I use standard Orca slicer with it. I use the Wonder Maker ZR profile with it. I don't know if there's something functionally wrong with the pulley system, or if it's running into something during a color change. And it really struggles with PETG, because I tried that out too. I'm like, well, maybe it's the material. I print with tons and tons of PETG for Sunlu, and it struggles with that too. So I don't know if that's a user error that I'm struggling with, and it's hard to dedicate the time to that right now because we're getting ready to move. But I still have it here in the studio. It's actually behind the camera on the other side of the studio. I would actually love to get that machine up and running. Again, it's that time thing right now. But it is a struggle. It is my pain point in the studio right now. WW John. So family growing equals more cats. No more cats. I just had a son a year ago, and the current home that we're in is a little small for a family. So we're gonna upgrade to a new location. We just haven't found the perfect one yet, but we're getting there. I'll get more details once we get some ironclad. It's for sure done, because I don't like to make promises that I can't keep. I'll get you guys more information on that, because you guys are all part of that extended family here on Printin' Pretzels. I want you to know where we're going to be at. I will give you a hint. The one I have my heart set on at this moment is a major upgrade from where we're currently at. And that's where I'll leave that part at. Darren, I have to drop, but thanks for your videos and doing these live streams. Absolutely. I'm going to keep doing these. I enjoy them. Some of the comments out there can get a little salty, but I take them with another grain of salt, because everybody's got their own opinions on things, and I appreciate those opinions, even if they are a little rough. I enjoy the opposite perspective, because it allows me to refine what I do so that I can make videos that fit everyone's, to the best of my ability, perspectives. Profound Matter 4786. I had high hopes for the Wonder Maker. So let me backtrack on the Wonder Maker. I don't have the tool changer. I have the single color with 4 spools on the side, Wonder Maker original ZR. I don't have the tool changer. I don't know how that one functions. I've seen on their site that some of the backers are getting them. I think David Walton, one of our members of the channel here, he's got one, so maybe we can get some feedback from him when he gets his, but I don't have one. That's not what I was testing. I was testing the standard unit that they sent me. If anyone has any ins on Detroit Lion's official colors, or at least as close as possible, Glorious Geeks would love you. You are absolutely correct. If there is an official Glorious Geeks colors would be cool too. But Detroit Lions colors, I am a huge Detroit Lions fan. And shout out to Detroit Den 313 if you are a Detroit fan as well. Check out their channel. I'm a member of their channel. I enjoy their content. I've been a member of their channel for like 3 years now. But they make great Detroit-based content for Detroit Lions. But PLA colors, I would love to make some Detroit Lions theme stuff. I did a hammer a while back. I think I posted a short on that, so you can go check that out. It was a light up hammer. I hollowed out the handle, and I did a cool looking I also made a Green Bay one. I hollowed out the handle and then I made the logos transparent, and it was really cool. I did post those out there. It was around December time frame, so those are out there. It was a fun project. Now that I have the Snapmaker U1, even more cost effective to do those types of things. Aaliyah 988, is the Snapmaker durable? It depends on your definition of durable. I would say 100%. I wouldn't throw it down a flight of stairs, but I would say it's. I've not had any issues with tool changing or. It broke my heart the other day. I saw somebody taking a sledgehammer on. It was either TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something. They took a sledgehammer to their Snapmaker U1, and I'm like, why? Send it to me. I'll fix it. If you don't want your U1, please send it to me. I will fully put it in the studio, and I will make it work because I fully believe in this machine. It is amazing. It has completely blown my mind, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure the Creator 5 Pro is going to be the same way when we get it. These tool changers are just legit. For multicolor printing, you cannot print more efficiently unless you're using the H2C, which gives you additional colors, but it still will take more time because of those filament swaps. This machine is, as far as I'm aware of, the most efficient way to print in 4 colors or less, or 4 materials or less, without purge. CD guy, I heard from someone in Boston at Rapid TCT that atom form is getting hung on their slicer. Apparently they're going for much more than just another Orca clone, and it's just not ready yet. If that's the case, that's good. That means they want to release a fully ready ecosystem, not just a machine that works and figure it out as we go. They want it to be ready to go, and everybody enjoys it so much that they just gravitate to it, which is great up until a certain point. If you got a machine that is beautiful and it's sitting on a shelf, at least get it out to a creator. Get it out to, I don't just mean me, I mean anyone out there. It's a beautiful looking machine. It looks like it prints 12 colors, purge less printing, which is exciting. Catching up on some comments. So where are the pretzels? I dropped the ball on that one this week, guys. I forgot to grab a bag of pretzels while I was out. I also forgot to grab some ice water while I was out. And I will try to make my drinking on camera a little less frequent. John Deere Green is an official color, and it is even trademarked. Green Bay also has trademark colors. I found that out, was it this week or last week? They have trademark colors of their green and yellow. That was really cool. Profile Matter 476. Why would someone get an X2D over the Snapmaker? Well, I can see a use case for engineering materials right now. Engineering materials require a very specific controlled environment, heated environment sometimes even, for printing. And the X2D can offer that with its heated chamber, and also you can print with water soluble supports on that extruder. Do I think it's got a very use case? Yes, I do. And I stated that earlier in the live stream. I think generally speaking, the U1 is going to be a far better machine, and it doesn't purge. It does not produce waste like the X2D will. You're still got the single nozzle. Yes, you can do 2 colors with the Bowden extruder. You're still, if you print in 3 colors, you're still purging. And if you print in 2 colors even, you're wasting build plate size. There's a side of the build plate you're not going to get to use. Your Snapmaker U1, I will die on this hill until something better comes out. The Snapmaker U1 is going to be the most, how do I want to say this? Bang for your buck when it comes to multicolor printing, and for the most part, multi-material printing. You're going to be able to use your AMS units with the X2D. You're going to be able to continue those on if you have other units like I do, but it doesn't fit my workflow here in the studio. I mean, I print multicolor a lot, and it doesn't solve that purge problem for me, and that's why I don't have one. Even if I had one to review, I would still be saying the same thing. Hey, this unit is great for X, Y, and Z cases. I like these aspects of this machine, but it doesn't solve my workflow problems, so I won't get multiple. It doesn't make sense. I would not have two X2Ds in the studio unless I was printing a ton of single color things that required supports, which I do some of those things. And if it wasn't a Bowden extruder, I could see getting it for the studio for the two color prints that we do. About 20%, don't hold me on that quote, but about 20% of our workflow in the studio for multicolor prints are two colors or less. And that would work. But my personal experience, I'm not a big fan, and I'm not trying to push any fear or anything. I'm just not personally a big fan of Bowden extruders. There's a reason why we went to direct drive extruders. They're more reliable. And to me, it feels like a step back with the Bowden extruder. It just means that they couldn't fit two direct drive extruders into that small tool head. So I fully suspect Bambu is going to release something different in the next 6 to 9 months. So stay tuned on that. If you're thinking about getting the X2D and you want to stay with Bambu and you want to get the most and you can get on by in your workflow until the next machine drops, that's what I would recommend. I hope that answers your question. David, it also lets you print things that can't be done with subtractive manufacturing. This is also correct. Barton, I hope that they make a Snapmaker U2 or whatever they name it in a 500 millimeter cube build volume with a top hat and a image. Okay, I love the enthusiasm on the 500 millimeter build volume. Their biggest printer currently is, I believe, 400 millimeters, so it would definitely be a step up if it was 500. I could see them doing 350, maybe 400. I don't know about 500, but it's a possibility. I will not rule anything out. I don't know. I just got a brand new contact on there, and they are very, very happy with how well the machine is doing, and I fully think they're focusing on providing the ecosystem software refinement before they move on to the next unit, like some other companies may do. And we're going to get you one that just works, and then we're going to go on to the next one that just works. They want to get you that just great. I think they're going to try for that Apple user experience. So that's good to see. CD guy, Snapmaker hasn't been really known to make upgraded versions like Ultimaker, and now Bambu is doing. So I'm expecting more than just build size and more tools. A larger U1 or one or two more printheads and 350 by cubed would be awesome. I don't think that Snapmaker is going to ignore this. I think they see how hungry people are for the U1, and they're very happy. And I don't think they're going to rest on their laurels or rest on their heels. I fully think, like I stated earlier, they are going to make sure this is the best machine possible for as many. If they moved on to a new machine now without getting that top hat out, I think that would leave not necessarily money on the table, but more like it would make it feel like the U1 wasn't finished because it wasn't fully enclosed. And I think once that top hat comes out, maybe they look at doing another machine. And then once either Snorka, Snapmaker Orca, comes out, and it's just you can rely on it. There's no kinks, there's no software issues. They're constantly pushing updates, so they're working on it, and they very much care about their stuff. They're very happy with the success of the machine, and I fully suspect that they will continue in the future with something like that. WW John, you are correct. If you're waiting on the next best thing, you'll always be waiting. That's why I say buy what fits your workflow today and save for the machine for tomorrow. Because there will always be something. It's like with phones, the newest phone, whoops, if I don't drop it like that, the newest phone will always be the latest and greatest. And it's going to become like that. These printers are going to come out so fast, and we're starting to feel it now. Snapmaker got here in our studio in January, and now it's April, and the Creator 5 Pro is here, and the X2D dropped, and it's like, whoa. So it's picking up. So we're gonna see those. 500 millimeter seems too big. I would rather have two 350 printers instead of 1.5. Yeah, because the 500, I'm not knocking the build size, but you also have to think of like what that size machine is and where you put it. Look at the Orange Storm Giga from Elegoo. I'd love to have one of those in the studio, but where in the world would I put it? I'm already struggling with the enclosure from Frozen. That's huge. I don't have anywhere to put it. Some of our cats have started sleeping in it. Hopefully we can solve that problem when we get to the bigger studio, though. I like that enclosure a lot, though. CDI 500 millimeter printers usually have very heavy gantries, and hence go really slow and need lots of tuning. I have not experienced a 500 millimeter printer, so I would not be able to comment on that. John, they wouldn't do anything until sales start dropping. I'm not necessarily sure on that. I think the U1 is going to sell very well for a very long time. Unless another machine comes out that truly rivals it, and they need to offer something else that keeps them competitive. And that's a beautiful thing in this environment, in this hobby, is when there's competition, it's good for us as consumers. It drives prices down and pushes innovation up. So that's why the Snapmaker U1 is here. They saw a problem, they solved that problem, purge printing, and boy is the market reacting to it. Acid Vive Studios. Someone came out with a droid hood for the U1 to print. I saw that. That was pretty cool. Yes. Check out Sunlu's Facebook page for that new Sunlu dryer. I'm super excited for it. It's not available for pre-order yet. It just got to Rapid TCT this week. It can hold 5 rolls of filament on each row, and there's two rows. I don't know how much. I don't have any specs on it yet. I am in contact with my rep, and they said when they can release information to me, they will release information to me. They're excited about the launch. This is where they're showcasing it. We'll see when the orders start going. I'll get those affiliate links out for you guys. I'm very excited about it. I'm already making room for one here in the studio. I'm not getting one from Sunlu as far as I'm aware of. I want to get one from Sunlu. I will be getting one because I have a big problem to solve. Let me show you. There you go. You can see I have a big problem to solve over here. That's filament and it being set out in the open. So if I can print and draw, at the very least, to solve that problem in one way, which is if it's been sitting out for a while, I can put it into a dryer that is bigger than our AMS dryers, get the moisture pulled back out of it, and then print with it. Then I don't get the string on prints that you can get. Otherwise, I have to dedicate an AMS unit to dry it out. I hope that answers your question, ST. CD Guy, the Orange Storm Giga is great example of why bigger is not usually better, at least at consumer price points. Yeah, that's a huge printer. I don't know where I'd even put that thing. It's monsters. 3D printing housing, that is pretty cool. Oh, I spent 74. I saw that too. The Snapmaker U1 copy machine. I couldn't believe that. I was like, is this real? I had to make sure it wasn't April 1st again. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody can make coffee with the Snapmaker U1. I was like, that takes some dedication. Whoever did that, that was pretty impressive. So with the Creator 5 Pro coming out, some of the things that I'm looking forward to testing on it is a lot of the reviews of their other machines. They say that when the speed gets going, those things can really rock. So I'm interested to see how that handles with multiple tool heads. And which the 85X, from what I've seen, prints just fine. Now I know with this new machine, they're going from, I forget what their old software is, to the new one, Flash Studio, which tells me they're also trying to solve the ecosystem problem with the software. They said that there's going to be a profile in Orca Slicer as well, which makes I'm very hopeful for, because with all the different machines I have in the studio that aren't Bambu machines, that's what I use to manage them all. Whether it's our Elegoo and Carbon ones or my Snapmaker U1, and even the Wonder Maker, that's what I use, because it's like, it just makes sense to be able to send whatever I want to whatever machine. Danielle, did you say that the Creator 5 Pro has 5 toolheads instead of 4? No, the Creator 5 Pro has the same amount of toolheads as the Snapmaker U1. What makes it different is the Pro is fully enclosed, including the top hat, is actively heated. It is actively cooled if you need the cooling mechanism, and the tool heads are on the side, which makes it easier to add filament into. I am hoping they release the VDS, Victor Delta Sierra, filament dryer at some point. If it's an AMS unit too, that's great. I don't know anything about it. I saw it in the TCT Asia first look footage that I put out in the videos with the machine. I'm hoping they release that unit soon, because I would love to get one and really see what it's all about. If not, I'd look at like getting a Sunlu dryer or something to print with the unit, because I'm not a big fan of how those spools are on the side. I guess it could make it easier to, I can't say I'm not a big fan of it, I guess, yet, because I haven't tried it yet. They just look like it's not as efficient as maybe a dryer or something would be to just pull it out of the dryer and feed it up in the machine. That's something I'm excited to explore and see, is what are the pain points of this unit? What do I not like? What makes things clunky? What makes things great? How much does the machine move when it prints? Just being able to get the first looks out there for you guys. One of the other channels I follow, I can't remember their name right now, they got a unit, they got the Creator 5, which is basically the same machine, it got all the same parts, it just doesn't have the enclosure and active heater. I think did the assembly and first looks at it, and it looks great. I think these early units aren't going to be as, they're going to be mechanically sound, but some of we're going to get some of the R&D type beta tester units first, and then later on, the actual backers will get the fully flushed out, looks like a brand new car type units. So if my machine gets here and it doesn't look fully flushed out, it's probably because it might be a beta unit, so don't be worried about that. I will say I'm really happy about the indicator lights on the outside, because I don't know if a tool head is parked, if there's an issue with it, if it just might be an additional status monitoring that could be helpful. Charles states, Snapmaker phone app isn't as nice as Bambu's. Well, I would have to take that with a grain of salt, just because Bambu has had a very long time to hone in their app. and Snapmaker has just started doing it. So I'd give them some time, and they'll get it fleshed out. I don't know how long it'll take, but they're actively working on it. I mean, the Snapmaker U1 came out, got here in the studio for us as the Kickstarter backer in like January 6th or something like that. And by the end of February, they had it to where you could skip objects, which is, that's awesome, because that's an important feature. If you have something that's failing, you can skip that object. You have that in the app on the Bambu Studio, and now you have it. I haven't used it yet, but I know it's out there. You can use it for the Snapmaker. Iceman, did you see Elegoo came through with the canvas for the CC1? No, I didn't. I need to look into that because I've been waiting a very long time for that. That makes me, before I say what I'm about to say, as long as it works, as promised, I'm very happy that they came through for that. That means a lot that they came through on that promise, even though it took longer. Because that might be, I keep my Centauri carbons around a little longer, because that's the only thing I don't like about them is that manual filament loading is starting to get to be a pain. Now, if I can get an AMS unit that goes on top of there, and I can just have 4 rolls that are sitting there, and that makes it a whole different story. They might stay around a little longer. They might be sitting right next to my P1Ss here shortly. They have it working at TCT. All right. Now I wonder, I wonder if the canvas unit can, is it the same canvas as on the CC2? Did they make it work? They take that and put it on the CC1? I'll have to look. I'll look up Elegoo at TCT and see what that's all about. That's a pretty big development. They got the same one? Okay, cool. So I'm wondering if they're going to offer like an upgrade and a side panel, and like a new side panel you put on. David, 3988. Yes, you will be able to. So let me answer a big question for everyone that has the Creator 5 reservations. You will be able to select at the time you finish your purchase. I don't remember what day it is right off the top of my head, but at the time of your purchase and you finish your purchase, you will be able to select whether you want the Creator 5 or Creator 5 Pro when you go to checkout. That was confirmed with me through our representative, so I can provide you that answer. So I hope that helps. Acid Fly Studios, I put the deposit on the 5 and just in case. No, well, no, you can. It was confirmed that, because I also put the deposit down, you can convert at the time of checkout. You'll be able to select which unit you want, because they did release the Creator 5 in the beginning, and then they released the Creator 5 Pro, I was like maybe 4 or 5 days afterwards. And they realized that was going to be a question. So I actually think on the launch page somewhere down at the bottom it says you can as well. It's in actual writing. So that was one of my big questions too. So I'm like, I actually really needed an enclosure for the studio because I have cats. So that's a question I can answer for you. Wait, is it really $350? I hope not. The canvas for the CC1? David 398, I reserved the 5, not the Pro. Okay, we got that one answered. What is the Panda breath there for? This Panda breath I was showing because someone asked earlier in the live stream what the Panda breath looks like. So here's the box. I'm going to unbox this and get it put into my U1 as soon as the pop cap gets here. It's currently held up in the warehouse from BQ. They're sending me that to review. So once that gets here, I'll get those on there and I'll be able to do review content on, hey, the pop cap works or it doesn't work. I don't like it. And since we're getting a second U1 from Snapmaker, I have the original top hat from the Kickstarter backed. So I'll be able to showcase them side by side and you'll be able to see here on the channel in the background at some point. I don't know how we're going to lay out the 2 machines yet, but you'll be able to see the two differences side by side on camera. Okay. I was hoping that was a joke. Okay, good. I don't know what the price is either. I'll look into it. Maybe I'll send an email to Elegoo and see if I can't get into contact with them about it, because I have 3 of them. I have 3 of the Elegoo Centauri carbon ones that can now technically print multicolor if I absolutely have to, if I don't have any other options. But I would like to have at least the capabilities, if I get a large order that's the same material, single color, that I can just have those on the machine and going. And I'm pretty sure they're pretty good at detecting air printing, from what I saw. I wish Sunlu kept making printers after tuning. I love my S8 and S9 more than my friend's CR10 printers, but the S8 I am doing the Ender 3 mod. Barton, I'm on the opposite side of that one. I'm glad they don't make printers, because they really get to hone in on the material and material handling. That's why I'm really excited for this new filament dryer that they're coming out with Insologic. If I'm butchering that name, I apologize. It's going to be able to hold 10 spools of filament, which means with roughly 4 units, I can maybe take care of that filament problem you saw earlier in the studio, or at least a good portion of it. And I can put a label on them. This is the PETG cabinet. This is the PLA cabinet, and then really hone in handling the materials, because they're not wrong when they say perfect prints start with dry material. I printed something in PETG that's been sitting out for a little while, and I could see where, as it was printing, the steam was popping out of the print as it was cooling, so it left little defects on the machine, or not on the machine, but on the print. Scroll back to my question. Flashforge on FAQ, it states you can choose either one at pay up time. Michael, I just saw unboxing of print of the Creator 5, super easy to build even over the U1. Best part of the reviews of X2D was the software to build in colors and a few others that look promising. I'm trying to find your question. Robert, U1 Slicer app as good as Bambu Handy? No, not yet, Robert. Snapmaker is much newer to the mobile game than Bambu is, so Bambu's had much more time to flush out their software. But they're getting there. We get updates very consistently. Trying to make sure I don't miss any comments. WW John 74, any AMS or any printer that can support multicolor also means you can use it for filament runout, not just color. Yes, W John, that is something I was referring to when I do single color printing, especially with the C. That makes my Centauri carbons have much longer longevity in the studio, because if I don't have to replace a filament roll when it runs out, and I can have 4 rolls on the side of my unit, and it just can go, and I can just take a print off, because I've got a couple of orders, not a whole lot, but a couple of orders that I've got to print things constantly, and I'll change the filament out, and then I gotta re-go through it again and load it up. And if it can do that automatically, that just saves me time. And right now, with even as small as a print farm as we have, time is starting to matter. And other upgrades matter too, like print monitoring. Like if my printer is just sitting there, I don't know if it's just sitting there. Now I do with these units. Michael, did I answer your question? I hope I did. If not, drop it in the chat again so I can catch it. ST, I'm not sure Bambu would buy Snapmaker. I'm not sure that that would happen. I can't say it won't, but I think they would upset the community a lot because Snapmaker has promised that their machine is going to be open sourced. And if you're not, for those of you that might not understand what the open source and closed source game is, the easiest way to explain that is think of Apple versus Android, or iOS versus Android. You have one system that is closed off. You can't really do modifications to it. Their proprietary information. It's theirs. It's their ecosystem. They built it. They control it. Then you have Android, which has a ton of mods out there, and it's got open source access and allows the community to make modifications. That's why you see things like full spectrum printing on the Snapmaker U1 and now in Bambu Handy app, of course. And that's the trade-off there is it can be developed in open source and then pulled over to closed source, but it still stays over there too. It just breeds innovation, and that's important. Open source is important, and I think even closed source systems appreciate open source. So I'm not sure if Bambu, and feel free to correct me in the comments or chat family to correct me if I got any of this wrong, but I think they work together and they breed competition, and that's good for us as consumers. Oh, it's a joke. My bad. I mean, it is a possibility. I mean, you can't rule anything out. Linux versus Windows, another good example. David 398. To me, the Pro is a no-brainer for the minor jump in price. Yeah, and again, the 19th is when pre-orders end. So if you are on the fence about getting this printer and you want it at the lowest possible price, now would be the time to back it. However, if you have hesitations and you're not sure if it's going to work for your workflow or not, it's okay to wait too. And we'll get the unit in here. You'll get to see it firsthand on these live streams. As long as they both fit on my table, you can see me. We'll get those on here. Or if I got to figure out something else, I can do that too. You'll get to see these machines, and then I will be able to present them side by side to you all so you can see what I'm doing with them and make an educated decision for yourself. But if you want to get it at the lowest possible price, and I'm not pushing it because of that, I'm just letting you know that it won't be this low, from what I'm told, for a while. Barton, if they still had a printer department, those 10 roll dryers might also be a universal AMS style unit also. Man, that would be nice. I'm hoping that, I haven't seen the machine firsthand in the back, but I'm hoping that there's maybe some filament inlets on the back that we can pop out and use them for a unit too, as a drying unit. Even if it's not, just having a filament cabinet that can hold more than 4 filaments would be great. Michael, when is your next live stream? I'm doing VOC and PM1, PM2, 5 PM. That's Snapmaker U1 in an apartment open, now no cover living area with bedroom 1, 2, then with the IKEA top end. My next live stream is I do one every Wednesday night from 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I haven't figured out the exact time for the first members one on the first Sunday of every month. I gotta see what the workflow and stuff looks like, family life and all that stuff looks like, but that is the day that's dedicated for it. And I really want to encourage everyone, if that's something you're interested in, get that channel. I'm gonna start posting videos and stuff on YouTube here of like, hey, this is what I'm working on today, guys. This is what I'm gonna be throwing on the printer, just to get you guys some of the behind the scenes footage. And what it's really going like. If I can get some time, I'll get some blooper reels put together on some of the things that I've done. If I'm playing with the cats in the studio, things like that. So just to get you guys some of the extras if you choose to become a member. And something important to note for memberships. Membership proceeds are going to go towards these power projects that I'm dedicating. So one of my first power projects that I want to do is the filament pain point that you saw earlier. I want to figure out a good workflow for, say I can come down here into the studio in the morning with a cup of tea, because I don't really drink coffee, and I need to load up some filament, and it's not dry. So I throw it in the cabinet, and away I go, and can create some cool footage like that. But getting that filament workflow in place so that we can help others discover what works, and they're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall trying to figure out what filament dryer is best, that there's some sort of system someone has in place. I know some of the bigger channels have built their own things, but what's something a consumer can buy that they can plug into the wall and it just works? And I think this unit is going to be it. I don't know what the price point is yet, though. With the 10-roll filament dryer, it might be a lot. I don't know. It might not be. I don't know. It depends on what Sunlu's got going on with that. And I'll cover that here on the channel. I was going to try to cover it this week, but I don't have much more information than I had last week. So when I get more, that's what I'll cover. But that's what the memberships and stuff will go to, or the super chats. If you guys decide to do super chats, it'll go to the power projects. One of the other ones that I'm looking at doing is incorporating solar and showing how folks can do 3D printing and offset their electricity costs with the power of solar. I have the tools to do it for the battery capacity, but I got to figure out how to do that as a consumer with solar panels. And that's something else that I'm looking into. I have 2 portable solar panels that are like Velcro, and I can start with that. Maybe I'll power the filament drying system off of that at some point, but that's what I'm looking at doing as well. I have the first episode of that recorded right now, which explains the problem and what is really causing that, like peak power outages or peak power costs, power outages, and how I think it's just going to get worse over time. So let's keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try to get that one out here pretty shortly. Get that out to you guys. Throwing food at the wall is fun, though. Watching it slide down is the most fun part. The cleanup, not so much. W. John, I see a lot of print farms running the A1 just a workhorse. So I can't talk too much on it because I don't know if I have permission to or not. I don't not have permission. But we have something coming in the studio later this summer for the A1. And we have something similar for the A1 Mini already, and that's over there. Right now I'm currently figuring out how to incorporate the pin of Purge with the A1 Mini and the plate jumping off into the basket. When I get a bigger printer, I can print a bigger basket, or I might just buy a basket at like Meyer or something to put there. But automation is a big thing I want to explore on the channel. If it can save us time, filament, and or money, I want to explore that aspect and present it to you all, because those are the important things in life, because it gives us time to spend with those that are important, our family, because that's the thing in life we don't have a whole lot of. We have a predetermined allocation of time, so if we can save that somehow, that's important. Profile Matter 4786. What would you recommend someone with an engineering grade capable printer to print? I can't speak on that one because I have technically the Centauri carbons can print engineering grade material, but I don't have a use case for that at this moment. Now there might be some people in the channel that can help with that, or feel free to drop into our Discord. We have some members that can help out with that because they do handle those engineering grade materials. I will state that a lot of those engineering grade materials will have VOCs. I can't remember what VOC stands for right now for the life of me, but it is basically the fumes. They're toxic. So Make sure you have a good ventilation system. Make sure you have a good filtration system. Different companies make different filtration systems. Voxel puts one right on the fan. That's not the only one I would use, but it's a component you can do. So if you're printing engineer grade materials, make sure you have proper ventilation. Like ABS, I know for a fact, you can fumigate a room real quick. I've done it to myself when I lived in Florida. I fumigated my garage and walked out there the next day, and I was like, whoa, I had to open up all the windows and push the fan out, and it was bad. Thankfully, it was in the garage. I could open up the big garage door. And there were no cats involved in that incident, thankfully. People that restore cars need these type of prints. And that's what's beauty about 3D printing. I might print things that bring joy to kids and families. Other people will print things that are functional. Some people print after factory market parts for vehicles, cars, motorcycles, drones. This 3D printing hobby doesn't just end anywhere. There's just so many applications for it. And that's what the beauty about this is. It's just like life. We all are different people doing different things with these printers, and that's so wonderful to see. And show off that test print, sir, from that Bambu behind you. It's done. Oh. Okay. Let me get the printer cam going here. See? You guys, this is the second week in a row that you guys saw something on those. That's something I didn't expect. Sorry. The print monitoring. I just did that video. If you guys want to check that out, watch it. But I didn't expect you guys to be able to see it on camera so much. That's pretty funny. Toyota hates that you can print aftermarket parts. I'm sure they do. They probably lose a lot of money. All right, so let me clear this off here so you guys can see. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Thank God for those status bars, huh? Yes, the status bars and the Panda Luxes, I don't know which one I like more. The Panda Luxes, I can really see into that build chamber. It is just, it blows my mind. I didn't think it was that big of an issue before I put it in there, but as soon as I turned it on, boom, it upgraded even my lights for my risers. So I was surprised. And then the Panda Status, I can't tell you how many times I would be so frustrated looking over my printers and the print is not moving. I'm like, is it purging, or is it just stuck? Is it not doing something? Now I know. And if you get the Panda alarm, this little thing right here, please, for the life of you, program your sound. Don't just leave it as the factory setting. I did that, and in the middle of the night, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, something was wrong with the printer, and I thought somebody was breaking into our house. It's so loud. All right, are you ready for this? So these are the Zebra hatchlings from Cinderwing 3D, and this is the test filament that I'm trying out. This isn't any, God, I'll put it in the link in the description on this video when I go to upload the timestamps and stuff tomorrow. This is a filament I'm trying out from Amazon, the white. If you expose it to UV light, sunlight, or any UV light, it'll turn orange. And it works. I tried it with some foxes, and they go from Arctic foxes to standard orange foxes because of it. And it's really cool. So, but this is what I'm printing from Cinderwing 3D. It just came off the printer now. Let's crack this off. As you can see, build plate adhesion is not an issue with these cryo grips. Sometimes they adhere too well, and then the beauty about this part is they slide right off. So this is what I'm looking to replace. Whoops. Oh, that went way over here. I'm looking to phase out our P1Ss for something more efficient when it comes to purge waste, because the amount of this filament that I'm testing out is not expensive right now. I mean, if it gets more popular, maybe it will be. Sorry, Dante. But it's kind of translucent. So it makes the zebras stick out in general. You can see how, like, in the head part here, you can see the black filament inside of it, which is still kind of cool. But when you expose this to sunlight, it turns orange. Then I'm calling it a horse of a different color from The Wizard of Oz. I might print an actual horse model off in this color too, but and there's a purple one too that I'll probably get and try out, but I'm calling them our changelings because I'm going to do a bunch of different models from different artists and stuff for the kids. Let me get this out of my grill here. It might just be the camera, but they don't pop. They look dirty. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I haven't cleaned these plates in a very long time. That's probably why they look dirty. If that's what you mean. Yeah. Haven't cleaned them in a very, very long time. In the sun is a Tibra. Oh, I like that. Tibra. No, Acid Fly Studios, that wasn't the camera. That's just how dirty my build plate is, and things still stick to it. Oh, the prints. So what you're seeing, yeah, I don't think, yeah, the camera lens is clean. What you're seeing on there is you're not necessarily seeing dirt or anything. So this color change transition material is slightly translucent. So the black infill where these stripes are is kind of like dispersing through that. That's why it's kind of making it look a little dirty. Oh, it's the that's ironic then. Acid Fly. It's the filament brand. Oh, all right, I appreciate that. I'll get that link out there for you guys to check it out. I printed on the standard Sunmove filament profile. I don't change anything from it. There's no stringing. It just works on that filament profile. Yeah, no problem. I've printed so much stuff on our BQ build plates. It is, if there's one upgrade I could recommend for any printer, as long as they make it for that model printer, it would be the build plates. I just don't have adhesion problems like I do with any of the stock build plates. If you put your hand on some of these gold build plates, like the texture PEI plates, you can get the oils on there. I really don't have the issue with the BQ plates. Now, what I will do when I first get them, I will wash them when I first get them, just in case there's any like residue from the factory still on the studio by chance. But after that, I don't wash them, but not very often. Profile Matter 4786. Why should someone get a Prusa XL when Snapmaker exists and even in their own lineup, the Bondtech index system on the... I don't know. I don't really know too much about Prusa, if I'm pronouncing that right. David, I think you can fix it by increasing the wall counts. I think so too. What I'm interested in seeing on this model is when the color transition happens when it's in the sun, does it fix it when it turns orange? To see if that works. So, but this was really the test that I wanted to try on this. The foxes that I did, since they were mostly white anyways, they didn't really have that color bleed, and I couldn't really tell how much of a translucency there was and how much a darker color would bleed through it. So now I kind of know, all right, so if there's a darker color next to it, I got to put some more of those walls. Michael, I can help in solar and multiple cameras once you get into needing to show angles and on touch screens versus laptop and mouse. Absolutely. Send me, if you can join our Discord, we can chat on Discord, or if you want to send me an email to gloriousgeeks01, I appreciate you dropping that in the chat again. Sometimes these chat bars go really quickly. So if I don't get to a chat of your guys's, and just drop it in there a time or two as these chat families blow up. But Michael, yeah, definitely. I'm definitely exploring camera setups. I had a company reach out to me that I'm going to try something out for them when we get to the new studio. I need a different type of situation for streaming here, other than our little butcher block desk thing. I think I might move this to the back of the setup so that printers can sit on this, and then I'm going to look at more getting something that I can raise and lower, just because I'm not as young as I used to be, and I did some prior service, so sitting for a long time can be a pain, and standing for a long time can be a pain. To have the different options would be nice. So I'm going to explore something like that. And then also, some of these printers are freaking heavy. So if I'm doing maintenance on one of them, if I can lower the desk down, set the printer on it, and then raise it up to working height, it just makes my life easier. Again, pain point solving in the studio. So look out for that when we get to the new studio. I'll probably be upgrading that and getting you guys some just simple pain point solving problems if you have multiple units and you have to perform maintenance on your printers. Profile Matter 4786. What are your favorite things to print in PLA? Favorite things to print in PLA? I'm gonna say our little critter friends here, and it's because they bring so much joy to kids. Some of our local community members here, we have a little garage pop-up shop, and hang on a second, I want to show you something. Since you're sticking around, I'm gonna show you something. So I reached out to an artist about 6 months ago, and I wanted to design some sort of like container system, and I don't have the skills to that, nor the time to learn that as of this moment. So I reached out to Pork 3D, who I'm a Patreon member with, so I do their commercial licenses, and they designed this thing for me, and I'm really appreciative of that. But what means even more to me is that parents and teachers, they come to our shop, our setup, and they get these little treasure chests. And here and if you're curious on what the filament is on this is Strong Hero PETG translucent rainbow. Look, kind of mounting zebras here. The thing to print in PLA is support for PETG. I agree. It makes it so much easier. So this is Strong Hero 3D PETG, and it's just so gorgeous. This is their translucent rainbow, and this is their chameleon PETG. But Port 3D designed these for me to use as part of our Hatchie PAL system. So what I do is I curate these little critters from different, and I'm not the only one in the world that does this, I'm sure, but from Cinderwing 3D, 3D Gob, a bunch of other makers. And I got a big collection of these. And what teachers and parents will do is they'll fill one of these containers up, and they use them as a reward system. Hawks, I'm right there with you about the discharge. But they'll fill these up with these critters, and they'll use them as rewards programs for their kids' incentives for doing chores, or in schools they'll do rewards for good behavior or good grades. And to me, that's making a difference in our community. I know some people out there, they're like, oh, it's just plastic that goes to the landfill. No, it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. Some of the people who purchase some of the articulated critters from us, or the fidgets and stuff, they help autistic kids that are nonverbal. So while yes, it is plastic, it does serve a purpose. So that's what brings me joy, knowing that in the lives of our community members, I don't do it for free. I am a business, but it brings me joy that I can give them an option for their children to be taken care of and to bring them joy. So, but super cool what we're doing. For Halloween, I printed little toys and had a candy. No one took the candy. They asked for extra prints for their parents. Yeah, we did the same thing for Halloween. So we did the articulated pumpkins that Cinderwing 3D has. She's got a pumpkin octopus. And it's the pumpkin, the octopus's head is a pumpkin, and then you have the tentacles. It's really cool. I can't remember what the actual name of the file is right now. But it is really cool. And we did the same thing for Halloween. Instead of giving out candy, which promotes cavities, we decided to do little critters, and it brought them joy. So it was cool. Sarah Brown, do you know what the differences in the toolheads are on the U1 and the Creator 5 are? Not yet, but I'll be able to further. The snap mechanisms are different, I will say that. Pogo pins on the Snapmaker U1. I'm not sure exactly what the Creator 5 Pro is, but we're going to be getting that here in the studio in the next week or so. And because Flashforge has already confirmed that with me. And I'll be able to cover that more, and I'll have them both sitting on. So stay tuned to these Print and Pretzels live streams. So, but that's a good aspect. I know there's also indicator lights on the Creator 5 Pro, which will be able to give you some status feedback visually, and it's similar systems, swapping mechanism. The toolhead on the Creator 5 Pro has been moved to the right side, so it should make filament loading easier, but it's easy on the U1 too because of the filament loading mechanisms. You just stick it in there and it just shoots it through. So it's just two different ways to tackle the same purge problem. David, I live in a mobile home park, and now some of the kids stop by and ask for prints. It's really cool. I charge them that they have to pet my service dog. That's funny. For me, making a difference in people's lives is what matters the most. And I'm not out to make $1 million. I'm not out to do things like that. I'm out to make joy, make a difference in the community, and that's what Print and Pretzels is all about. Is bringing people together and solving a problem. If someone's saying, "Hey, I'm struggling with my printer," we have a community here that will kindly help them as best we can. So. Yard work for prints might be work for payment. That's not a bad idea. I might stick a sign out in the front yard. Yard work for 3D prints. I'm kidding. I don't think I'm going to do that, but it's funny. I was watching Landscape Foreman. They don't know to mow my lawn. I'm picky. A side note, Adam Form. Their parent company is Mova, who makes the automated lawn vacuums, or lawn mowers, which is pretty neat, I thought. So, but I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight, guys. I will say a couple announcements again. I'll do a short recap here. So, I want to thank you all as viewers of the channel and attending these live streams every week. It means the world to me because you are the reason that we are getting out to these bigger companies and that we can bring you these first look footages of the Creator 5 Pro versus the Snapmaker U1, and the Snapmaker U1, what it's going to look like with having multiple units. What are my pain points with multiple units? What is costing me time? What is something that can be improved? How can it be improved? What does the community want to try to improve it on? And then now we also are going to get to explore what laser engraving and CNC machining is all about with the Snapmaker Artisan. They are sending that machine to us because I believe that not only in 3D printing is here to stay, but I think hobbyists are also going to look like, all right, I figured out 3D printing. I've got it down pat. what's this laser engraving thing all about? Or what's this CNC thing all about? And I'm not going to be an expert in it by any means. Maybe I will at some point, but I'm not an expert at 3D printing right now. I do it for fun. I do it to bring people joy, and that's what means the most to me. I want to do the same thing with laser engraving. I want to do the same thing with CNC. What can we do to bring the community joy? So if you have experience in laser engraving and you can point me in the right direction on maybe YouTube videos or things like that, that would be super helpful for the channel because I'm gonna have to learn that pretty quick. And then I'll be able to pass that information along through videos and YouTube content as well. So just repurposing that kind of content for the community. So I hope everyone has a great night. I actually went backwards. I did laser engraving first and then went into 3D printing. Profound matter, it's funny, I have a Elegoo Fecta laser engraver. I just don't use it. I've been so busy with 3D printing. But now that laser engraving, it can auto-detect the object that's in there, and then you can design kind of like that. That makes it way more approachable for me for laser engraving. So I'm super excited to see that and explore that with you all. So stay tuned for some content coming up from the studio. We're going to be doing that PowerPoint project, exploring the power outages and how to be more efficient when it comes to using power in 3D printing. So B unit, no problem. I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. And I can't wait to see you all again next week. Same time, same place, here on Printin' Pretzels. And until next time, be glorious.